I went in there. Everybody. By the time I got back, I was out drugging and drinking and hanging with everybody down. Like I'm just from down there. Like I'm admiring. I said, look, I seen this dude with a chain, with a ring, and now you remember years later, I got the little disc ring because I saw a dude with it. I'm like, I'm gonna get one of them. All the Project Boys had goals. I'm gonna get them. Got my grill. My mama got me one goal, bro. When I started, however I was getting the money, but no matter what, whether I was doing something, however I got the money, I always said I did what I was hustling. And that eventually happened, but a lot of times in the past, I was scheming and doing stuff.
You wanted the image and the persona and the idea of what you was doing to be that you was hustling. So would you say you were ashamed of the other ways you was getting money?
Yeah, it wasn't cool to rob people and cool to steal, and it wasn't cool to cash bad checks and that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't cool, but I'm getting $1,500 checks. Oh yeah, I've been out here in these streets getting it. But everybody else that don't know us,
right.
Man, Scope got his grill all the way dipped. Oh, yeah, I was out here getting the beat. You know what I mean? So I was mad one day because I went down there and it wasn't. I guess it's probably one of the days that I ain't had no money or something. And and my sibling was down there. They was smoking, and they was acting like funny. They was acting funny. And in my head, what the thing I'm building up is I get money. Oh, they don't do that? But in reality, I had no legal way to get money. I had no job. I was broke and trying to prove something that I didn't yet understand. Trying to do things that was even in street knowledge. I didn't have that type of street knowledge yet to even be talking to them. But like my wife said, she said, you told me we gonna get out here and pimp and sell dope. Yeah, I told her that back in the day. Like, yeah, when you get in my gang, we gonna pimp, sell dope. That's how we do it. Like getting money, baby. Like that's, bruh, I was tripping. So Rico never heard this because he would have put me on the stage, so I ain't really run that past him. But that's another story.
Yeah, let me mute my mic.
So I'm already down. So I'm down. I'm over the Rhine doing this. I'm in over the Rhine doing this, and they acting funny with their little weed or whatever. I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll be back." I said, "I got y'all, man," and I made myself, I walked because I didn't have no money for the bus. And it's a 4-mile radius from the part of over the Rhine to where my mama lived, like 3 or 4 miles. It wasn't that long for a young person. Like we used to walk everywhere anyway. So I walked back to Wanna Hills. There used to be this cash and numbers place, like a little, not a gambling house, but like where people went to go play their numbers and get money orders or something, but it wasn't a check cashing place. It was just like when people went to go play numbers and play the lottery. And so something said, go in there. And I went in there, and I can't remember if it was a lady or a man. I think it was a man. And they pulled out their wallet, and I just seen multiple 20s, and I just snatched the wallet and ran. And I ran all the way back down over the Rhine, but I didn't run straight back to my sister in the house.
So hold on. So you get the thought that says, go in there. You know it's money transactions. You know it's somebody, either you're going to ask for something, you're going to take whatever. You go in there. Where's your heart? Where's your mind? Where's your fear? Are you scared? Are you thinking, or are you kind of like putting yourself in a, like, don't think, just react? What is your...
So when I wrote this down, the first thing, once again, the Holy Spirit was showing me something. I said the root, frustration and pride. I was prideful, so I was fearful, scared. Like in the moment, I'm like, man, like I said, I had been doing a little bad stuff before this, so this was, this was something new though. I never snatched nothing from nobody or robbed nobody or took nothing from nobody at this point. So when I did it,
did you have an idea of what you were going to do before you went in, or did you just like go in there and I'm gonna figure it out and you kind of freestyle?
Yep, I freestyle. The enemy. Yeah. I went right in there and something said, go in there. I didn't know nobody was gonna have this money laid out, and I surveyed it really quickly. I said, oh, if you snatch it, run, you're gonna get up out of there. They ain't gonna be able to catch you. You fast. And that's what happened. Boom, boom. I didn't assault them, but I assaulted their pockets. Like I took whatever was right there, and I jetted back down. And once I felt like I got away, I said, nah, I ain't going straight back over there. Nah.
So running, you just thinking about getting away.
Yeah.
You ain't thinking like, dang, you just like, let me get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But look, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. That small bit of conviction for doing that to somebody, it came later, and it went away when I smoked some weed. But this is how idiotic and crazy this is. I get back, like I said, this is one of the worst crime-ridden places in the city. I ran into the inner city past over the round, because once you go past over the round, you go into inner downtown. And I went to a little boutique they had called JJ Newberry's. About me, there used to be a little African man selling little bootleg outfits, little knockout designers. I went and bought me one of them, and then I went in JJ Newberry's and got some of they knockoff jewelry with the initial rings. And I wanted to come back big bad, and like I did something. Then I went on this street downtown called it ain't no point in naming the street, but where everybody sold weed back in the 90s. It was a shoe store. People used to stand in front of and buy weed. And I bought a big old bag of weed. Weed was cheap back in the day. And so I bought the big old bag of weed, and I had me a little hat on and then my little stuff. I don't even know what I did with my other clothes. I probably threw them in the garbage. I don't know. I was out of my mind. And so I went on back over to my sibling house, knock on the door. Oh, bro, you fresh. Like, I got the immediate reaction I wanted. And I went in there.
That's a good observation. You said I got the immediate reaction I wanted.
Yeah, I got the immediate.
So the enemy is already validating your feelings.
Yeah.
And he's already serving you with the counterfeit already. So it's easier to push that conviction or whatever to the back, because that was dirty, but I'm fresh. Now I can peacock, I can show out. Plus,
and I got some money.
And I'm getting reaction. Like, not only am I dressed up for the part, it's working.
It's funny how I got this written. I strutted in front of my siblings, handing out weed, trying to be funny, acting like I hustle. And I really did this. Like, I just went up there and busted a few moves. I had a pack at the house. Like, what is wrong?
So let me ask you this, because I never asked you this about, because this is a fresh story. This is almost 40-year friendship, right? I've never heard this story. So when you told me this a couple days ago, I didn't think about this. So how much time between you down your people house till you leave Saudi, you walk in, you go snatch the money, you run, go get outfit, whatever, and then you show back up at the house? What's the time frame?
Man, it couldn't have been more than like 2 hours.
Oh, that was fast.
Fast. I did it quick. It was fast. It was over. Fast, real fast. Real fast.
Wow.
Real fast. And I could run fast, so
So peep. So the reason why I asked that is because when you was telling me the story and I was processing it in my head, and you didn't tell me the time, and so I'm thinking like, okay, this happened one day, maybe the same day or another day. You was like, man, I'ma show them, or I'ma whatever. You did that. got the money, then you went shopping, and then the next day, but it was
Listen. I faked argue with them.
mm-hmm.
I said, F it. I ain't even gonna argue with you. I'll be back. I get money. I went and got some money.
Wow.
And I came back and yeah, and I got my first taste of shortcuts and stolen victories, right?
Yeah.
Because I came back, I like the way I got it, and I strutted around. I really was, man, go ahead. I ain't gonna act like y'all. Y'all go ahead and roll up. We good. I got the grenadiers.
But
yeah.
but you did give them a little bit of.
I gave him a little pettiness.
Right.
Like, I ain't. Smoke y'all little. Oh, y'all ain't got no more. Oh, y'all ain't got no more weed. You ain't got no money. I get real money. Yeah, I'm getting dollars, dog.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I did all. Come on, bro. As long as you know that Mr. Petty Confetti had to do something.
And that's why the time frame is so important, because it happened so quick. You left and basically came right to an hour and a half, 2 hours. Ain't no time when you sitting around kicking it, smoking, drinking. Y'all whatever happened. You leave and you basically come right back totally different person.
Right.
As far as it looked like.
And guess what? My front hand was up for the rest of the summer. Then Jay came back down to
break that down for the people. I don't know what that might mean. My front hand was up for the rest of the summer.
So once I got that persona that I'm getting money, I had to continue that act. Now, it just headed to more stuff. So this opened the doors to more chaos. This particular incident, because we got over that day. We smoked our little weed, did our regular, hung out. I felt bad for whoever I did it for like half a second, because I was satisfied with the results I got. But now when I used to, man, a liar is bad. So once I lied, it just got worse. Like the increase of overdoing it, over lying, over exaggerating. Now I'm leaving, acting like I'm going to get some money. So, but it's crazy because the enemy was opening doors. Like, so Jay came down there, and he the one. That's how we even got to hanging downtown, because of Jay, right? We got to hanging down. We got to hanging downtown because of Jay, because he moved down there, and then he stayed down there with his daddy, but he was a runaway, and so. Boom, 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 one thing led to another. Now we wrecking crew. You know what I mean? And we running around town and doing what we do. And everything was about hollering at the girls. We ain't really had no money, but it seemed like E and my sibling had got quite acquainted. And they would get on, like what made me go bust the first move. They would get paid. And I said, it's cool. We go. And Jay was like, he seen one of the local dealers that used to hustle in front of my sister's house had a pack. And he said, bro, we about to get it. And me, I always been good at this directing. This is what I was talking about earlier. I encouraged him. I said, yeah. All you got, you know where it's at? Bruh, I'm going to look out for you. All you got to do is jump out the window, go get it. And when he grabbed it, we went to the west end of downtown. The west end of projects, and we sold what we took from the guys hustling it over the Rhine, and start. And that it took us a couple days to sell all of it, and we didn't do nothing with it but buy weed and buy little fake clothes and shoes, and we didn't really do nothing with it. Like, we ain't helped nobody with it. But we was keeping them fronts up. Me especially, like, I probably had some money, and I probably had bought my first pack of drugs for real, like earlier that summer in my neighborhood I grew up in, but I really wasn't taking it serious. Like, you know what I mean? I was selling fake dope. They called it fleece. I was fleecing people. Like, it was crazy. So
real quick, what I just peeped is the incident where you snatched the money and then you come back so fresh and clean, which sets off. Now I gotta keep this look up. Now you take it from other people. You sending a soldier to do it.
Yeah, he seen it. He
could have got y'all killed.
Yeah, he seen it. He seen the opportunity. He seen that. I'm like, see this. I'm explaining to him like, see this why. And bro, I just see and they doing it again, bro. And then and then Jay put something in my mind like they messing around. They intertwining, bro. Like, and that made me salty. So that was even more like, oh yeah, we ain't cut them at all. We ain't cut them in at all. We coming back with food and yeah, it got real petty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but in the midst of that, the little games we played, running around seeing who can get the most girls. In the midst of that, now we really linking with them dudes that's really from down there.
Yeah.
Now I'm from down there. Now for that summer, but now forever in my life, if you met somebody from downtown, I gotta say school from downtown, but I'm not. I grew up on the east side of town, but like I said, I got one of them familiar faces. But I was just and I was telling Rico, this is crazy. I had one of those things where I wasn't crazy like a lunatic that'll fly out the handle and kill everybody and a supreme boxer that beat up the whole neighborhood. But I just had this button where I just was like, whatever. I want whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was scared to do it, I just do it anyway. Just like, and that was the beginning. That had to be the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Other stuff, I probably thought a little more about it and took a chance. Like I said, I had previously bought some drugs and tried it out for a little minute and did some little stuff, but then I burned out real quick.
Something else I just peeped. You just said something. You just said you would do something, but you kind of like you would, the thought, the fear, the anxiety of it will be there, but you would just power through it. You will push through it for the result of the shortcut.
Yeah.
So
the validation,
that residue pushed fear, and it's just like when we talking about ironically here Jameer boxing or whatever. When I said you can't be scared to get hit. Once you get rid of the fear of being hit, you can fight. You might be able to use your hands, but once you're not afraid to get hit, you're not afraid to jump into danger. So now you're more likely to fight. You're more likely to defend yourself. You're more likely to go hard because I ain't scared of I could take a lick to give a lick.
Yeah,
So those instances of snatching the money, then taking the dope boys pack in front of that and getting away with it, and then building that, it made you more bold.
Yeah. Oh, now I done took it back to my neighborhood, school start. Now I'm just a dope dealer. Still don't know what I'm doing though, but I'm just I done been downtown for the summer. It's on.
Right.
Like I'm him. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But once again, like it burned out. It ain't last long. I'm back in my environment. I hung with kids that I was in the neighborhood where I was around some projects, but on the other side, like directly on the other side, was houses with good kids. Mm-hmm. Not good kids, but they were different from the other kids.
Right. They weren't project kids.
And I hung with those kids.
Right.
And they parents didn't like me like I was a project kid.
Right.
But I lived down in the apartment building down the street from them. But so, but what I picked up down there gave me more confidence. And then I met another person almost in likeness of me. Mm-hmm. And we link up, and man, it just that whole thing, because I learned about gangs when I was down there. I witnessed the murder down there, everything, bruh. Mm-hmm. Like, I was down there in it temporarily, and I done some things down there, and I had a lot of sex as a youngster because of what I was listening to, the environment I was in. Mm-hmm. And when I look at all this, all that led to all the rest of the stuff that started to unfold in my life. That's why I call it a hell, because it set me up. I didn't think that's why God gave it. That's why the Holy Spirit gave me this testimony. It planted seeds of destruction that I now can look back from that, snatching that, to later on tying somebody up. Later on, getting the gun put to my head, somebody taking my stuff. To later on to me, like, I got the task force telling me that, we got you. We you next. You big on our list. You think you slick, and we gonna get you. You know what I mean? Led to these multiple mothers of my children. Because I ain't know how to, because I never learned how to use a rubber.
So 94 was the epic jump off of the shortcut. Like, we might have been trying to do little, whatever, and being kids, but that is when the shortcut. And you know what? It makes sense, because when you said 94, that's the same year. That's the year I got a job, and I was trying to get, and you made a mention of it at the beginning. You was like, I might have worked a job, kind of, Rico worked, but I might work a little bit, a couple checks and this, that, and that. Yeah, because you had got a taste of those types of shortcuts. I didn't. I went to work, so you was like, man, I can get it.
Bro, listen.
I didn't know.
Bro, listen to this. After we did them shows at KT's and everybody, I was still downtown, bro.
Yeah.
I was going to house joints.
Yeah.
Bro, I was still there. Like, when we did that show at KT's with OTR and all that, I didn't go back to Marva House yet.
Yeah.
I went in there, everybody, by the time I got back, I was out drugging and drinking and hanging with everybody down. Like, I'm just from down there. Like, I'm admiring I seen this dude with a chain, with a ring, and now you remember years later, I got the little disc ring, because I saw a dude with it. I'm like, I'm gonna get one of them. All the Project Boys had goals. I'm gonna get them. Got my grill. My mama got me one goal, bro. When I started, however I was getting the money, but no matter what, whether I was doing something, however I got the money, I always said I did what? I was hustling. And that eventually happened. But a lot of the times in the past, I was scheming and doing stuff. So
would you say you were, because you wanted the image and the persona and the idea of what you was doing to be that you was hustling. So would you say you were ashamed of the other ways you was getting money?
Yeah, it wasn't cool to rob people and cool to steal and go to.
It wasn't cool to rob people into DMX. Huh?
Yeah, and go and go to studies.
Yeah,
and go to take legal shortcuts.
Yeah,
but it wasn't cool to cash bad checks and that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't cool. But I'm getting $1,500 checks. Oh yeah, I've been out here in these streets getting it. Right. Now the person I'm doing with it, no, he really hustling. He like, cause he the one. He like, nah.
Right.
But everybody else that don't know us, I'm
right.
Man, Scoob got his grill all the way dipped. Oh, yeah, I was out here getting it beat. You know what I mean? So but that opened me up, because then I start really getting into that life. But that same summer, going into that summer ended, going into the fall and winter, I was because after when I can go back to school and school back in, and I'm back in our neighborhood, I'm hanging out with you. So I'm back hanging with you, and I'm at your mama's house one day, and we outside. She's on the grass, or I'm on the grass, and she might be on the porch. And I listened to her too. She told me, "You got a Bible?" I said, "I think she might have gave me a Bible." I'm not gonna say because I can't, but I know she told me to read John 3:16, and I read it, You know, and I probably read it over and over and over again. I didn't understand, had no concept of what that meant. The none of nothing. I didn't know, but I read it. And so by the time I was 15 and 16, I done got in some real trouble. I done had so many court cases. Look, I got on probation for, I was telling my wife about this. I got on probation for something driving, like maybe a wreck, a drunk, a DUI, like about 3-4 years ago, maybe about 5 years ago. And the probation officer, they say they're not allowed to look at your juvenile record. And she looked at my juvenile record. Now my adult record, I got a number, some nice little stuff on there, but it's no violence. She said, "Oh, Mr. Hoskins, you were rather violent when you were young." And I said, "What you talking about?" And it was right there, and I seen it. It wasn't nothing light. It was aggravated assault, aggravated burglary, felonious assault, aggravated assault, attempted assault with a weapon, discharging a firearm on school grounds, activating a riot. Oh man, it was literally all this stuff that I think about now. All these great ideas that I formulated later on, they started that summer. That summer of hell led me. I started getting the girls, the drugs. So, wow. And I wonder why that came up, because I never even thought about that. Like, that's something that I felt bad about, but I brushed it off, and it was just something that was a part of the story. And the story I keep going in several directions, but this is, like you said, I don't know what you would phrase that at, but this was the spark. That boldness, that sin that grew, them 70 demons that came after them 70.
It's an appetite. You acquired a new appetite. You had a for lack of better words, you got your first taste of blood.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit a like, share, subscribe for the YouTube algorithm so we can push this and get this to more people. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time we drop new content, past, present, and future. Crown of Glory 360 Media. And like we always say, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, always remember to be salt and light and walk in godliness. Peace. We love y'all.